British Muslims have had their citizenship reduced to second-class status as a result of recently extended powers to strip people of their nationality. The Institute of Race Relations said the targets of such powers are almost exclusively Muslims, mostly of South Asian heritage, embedding discrimination and creating a lesser form of citizenship. Francis Webber, the IRR Vice Chair and report author, wrote, "The message sent by the legislation on deprivation of citizenship since 2002 and its implementation largely against British Muslims of South Asian heritage is that despite their passports, these people are not and can never be true citizens in the same way that natives are. While a native British citizen who has access to no other citizenship can commit the most heinous crimes without jeopardizing his right to remain British, none of the estimated 6 million British citizens with access to another citizenship can feel confident in the perpetual nature of their citizenship." The report describes the criteria for deprivation of citizenship as nebulous and undefined, and warns of a risk of its use for political purposes, with Webber highlighting Shamima Begum's case as an example. Citing racist media coverage, politicians' statements and the government's Prevent Counter-Terrorism program, the report described citizenship stripping as just one aspect of measures targeting Muslim communities in Britain and abroad in the past 2 decades, which have helped turn British Muslims in the UK into a suspect community. Ukraine's President Zelensky announced this week that Ukrainian forces had taken more than 1,000 square kilometers of territory from Russia. Ukrainian forces executed a stunning offensive in Kharkiv, driving Russian troops back in a near panic. After announcing for weeks of an operation on the southern city of Kherson, Ukrainian forces completely wrong-footed Russian forces as the Russian generals moved troops south from Kharkiv, which meant they were outnumbered 8-1 as Ukrainian forces attacked. What remained of Russian forces and the militia groups fled to Russia, leaving behind significant war materials for the Ukrainians. This is an embarrassing defeat for Russia, who opened the war very poorly, and ever since they have focused on just holding territory. The defeat has raised rare dissent from Russian nationalists and pro-military Russians who believe Putin is not going far enough to win the war in Ukraine. Azerbaijan carried out a wide-scale attack against targets in Armenia, an unprecedented escalation of the long-running conflict on Armenian territory. Armenia's defense ministry reported attacks starting around midnight September 13, targeting cities all along the southern part of Armenia's border with Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan's defense ministry said it was merely carrying out local countermeasures in response to large-scale provocation. Armenian Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan, in a morning address to parliament, reported that at least 49 Armenian soldiers had been killed in the attacks. We have to note that, unfortunately, that number is not final. Since the war in Ukraine, there have been signs that Azerbaijan may be probing Russia's ability and willingness to keep peace in the region. This escalation comes as Russian troops have been rapidly retreating against a Ukrainian advance. Russia is the guarantor of the ceasefire agreement that ended the 2020 war between the two sides and has nearly 2,000 peacekeepers stationed in Nagorno-Karabakh, the Azerbaijani territory that Armenian forces won in the first war between the two sides in the 1990s. The timing of this escalation comes at a difficult time for Russia, as it struggles in Ukraine, and it's likely Azerbaijan is taking advantage of Russia's preoccupation. Germany has taken control of the German operations of the Russian oil firm Rosneft to secure energy supplies, which have been disrupted after Moscow's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Rosneft's German subsidiaries, which account for about 12% of oil refining capacity in the country, have effectively been seized and nationalized. Rosneft responded in a statement that the move was illegal and that it could go to court to challenge the decision by Germany. The seizures come as Germany is scrambling to wean itself off its dependence on Russian energy. Moscow has stopped natural gas deliveries to Germany via the Nord Stream 1 pipeline. Germany has begun entangling from Russia, and it's likely she will look at all its joint ventures with Russia. The German-Russian confrontation is now in full swing, and historically has always proven deadly for the continent.